Well, I've decided to do another video, and this time I'm going to do my personal top 10 reasons why the company WCW World Championship Wrestling failed. Now, you've seen tons and tons of videos just like this. Everybody's got their own opinions. They'll always point back to like the finger poke of doom. Well, I really enjoyed WCW. I started watching wrestling in probably late 97, early 1998. Became a big fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin, D-Generation X, and such. I miss those days. Well, this goes in no particular order, but I just wanted to give my 10 reasons and see what you think. One, it's got to be why in God's name did Goldberg never become a two-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion? The man is already a three-time world champion in WWE. But for some reason, after the streak, the momentum, the becoming the Stone Cold of WCW, they decided that one world title reign was enough. So all of 1999, 2000, into 2001, they never gave him a second reign as the champion. I think without a doubt that is probably the biggest reason of their failure. They had the homegrown talent, and they basically told him, nope, we're going to go with everybody else, even including guys that were winning championships in the 1980s like Goldberg, Ric Flair, and Hulk Hogan, even Sting winning in 1990. And then Jeff Jarrett's and Kevin Nash's and Sid Vicious. But no Goldberg. That goes to another point. Wasted talent. Go to any pay-per-view. Just go on Wikipedia, type in any pay-per-view of WCW, and just look at the talent they had. Just do the Monday Night War. Keeps things simple. So 95 to 2001. Just look at some of the talent they had. And realize the fact these guys some were never world champions, never U.S. champions, cruiserweight champions, tag team champions. Hell, they got rid of the TV title by literally throwing it in the garbage. Wasted talent. You can say the same thing about WWE today, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, AEW, you name it, wasted talent. And like I was talking about the world title, another reason, reliance on 80s stars. Look at WWF during the Attitude Era. Who are you building around? Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, to a lesser extent, The Undertaker, who reinvented himself in 2000. Kane, Mick Foley, yeah, he debuted in the 80s, but he changed characters all the time, and he was always finding something new. You can't have just new guys. You have to have some veterans. But they didn't rely on them. He helped build The Rock. Mick Foley could be given credit for building The Rock and Triple H, while Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker could be credited for building Stone Cold Steve Austin after Bret Hart turned him into a main eventer. But WCW in 1999, for some reason, while The Rock and Stone Cold were battling for the World Championship, they had Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan in 1999. One of the biggest problems, simple. NWO for life. Once they hit with the NWO in 1996, they decided that is their bread and butter. NWOs throughout 1996, 1997, 1998 got so big you had NWO and NWO Wolfpack. And then the LWO. Then the weird reunion in 1999, which still doesn't make sense. It's one thing to get back to NWO, but why would Kevin Nash agree that the only way the group gets back together is if he gives the world title back to Hulk Hogan? Why couldn't they say, let's get back together, you be the world champion? And then they ended 1999 by creating NWO 2000 with Bret Hart, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Jeff Jarrett. And then, of course, Scott Steiner joined. It was nothing but NWO, NWO, NWO. Then even after NWO, the New Blood, or the Millionaires Club. They always thought they needed giant stables. Even though their biggest one, NWO, never actually finished. Do you remember the match where they ended the NWO? No, it just sort of stopped. Now, one of the big reasons, of course, focus on the short term. Winning every week of Nitro versus Raw was the goal. Even after they lost back to Raw, they still only focused on that. Short term is not how wrestling works. Storylines, build something. So, you could have built up for months Hogan ducking Goldberg. Finally, on pay-per-view, Goldberg beats Hulk Hogan. Ah. Nope. Goldberg, out of nowhere, gets a shot at the World Heavyweight title, wins it, and that's it. I don't think they ever had a rematch. Each fights somebody else on the pay-per-view. Hogan's battling in a tag team match. It's like, this just literally came out of Goldberg, out of nowhere. Goldberg himself says that he was watching Thunder at home, which tells you how good that show was. Your biggest star sitting at home watching it. And that's when he found out he had a world title match at the next TV or Nitro. That does not make any sense. This goes into the next one. TV over pay-per-view dollars. Now, TV, you get ad revenue. That's it. It don't matter if the show's good. It don't matter if the show's bad. People tune in, people tune out. If it happens for a long time, yeah, they'll start losing money, but you get the same money no matter what. Pay-per-view is where the money comes in. You know, WWF every month built up to their pay-per-views. So you had to tune in to see what The Rock was going to do or Stone Cold Steve Austin. You didn't just give the match away for free. You gave away matches that were never going to be a pay-per-view match. We never got Big Show versus Stone Cold on pay-per-view because we didn't need it. That was a good main event for Monday Night Raw. To help build up interest for the other matches. Pay-per-view is where you earn your money. So WCW lost a ton of money because they gave away all their big matches on TV. Remember who Goldberg beat on pay-per-view? Nobody. After winning the World Championship on July 6, 1998 on a TV episode, his first opponent was Curt Hennig. That could be a great match, but that's who he's going to face for the U.S. title. Then, at Road Wild, he won a weird battle royal. Fall Brawl, he wasn't even on the card. Halloween Havoc had that thrilling match against Diamond Dallas Page. World War III wasn't on the card. And Starrcade, he lost the title. Think about that. Think about how he could have fought like Sting on pay-per-view. Could have fought the Giant on pay-per-view. All the dream matches he could have had on pay-per-view, fans would have paid to see, and yet they were just given away on TV. To the point where Goldberg wasn't even on the pay-per-views. Giving up a ton of money to not even win the TV ratings. Next up, not listening to fans. It's the biggest problem any wrestling promotion has. You can't listen to everything fans say, of course, because fans are going to just say, I want this guy to win every single match. Or you have to have the fan favorite win every single match. No one's ever going to be a heel if they lose every single match. So, but you need to listen to the fans. WWE is at fault when the fans said, we want to boo this person and cheer this person. Sometimes let them have it. If they're going to do it every week. Look when they finally turned Roman Reigns heel. Literally just this last month. Fans weren't even expecting it, nor even wanting it. But now they're intrigued. But it's like, why didn't you do it years ago? When you could have done it, made it make sense. But just listening to the fans would have told them, hey, yeah, we like Hulk Hogan stuff, but maybe give the title to Goldberg. Who do we cheer loudest for? Goldberg. Nah, we'll give it to Hogan or Sting or Kevin Nash. Or biggest problem in wrestling, never listening to the fans, wasted talent. Didn't want to all agree with fans. David Arquette. The World Heavyweight Championship in professional wrestling is the most prestigious title you can have. It's a title that's so prestigious and so sought after. One of the greatest legends of all time, Roddy Piper, never won a World Heavyweight Championship. But David Arquette did. There was a lot of problems with WCW at the time. Vince Russo won the world title later in the year. Jeff Jarrett was a 4-time World Heavyweight Champion, winning his first on April 16th and his fourth on May 29th. In a month and a half, he became a 4-time World Heavyweight Champion. Kevin Nash was a 5-time World Heavyweight Champion, and only one reign actually had meat linked to it, and that was only 2 months. Bret Hart and Psycho Sid Vicious are two men who have one thing in common. They are both 2-time WCW World Heavyweight Champions who never lost their titles. Hart had vacated the title twice. Sid Vicious vacated the title twice. Or he was more stripped of it because he was the face and it was a heel thing to do. But neither man was ever defeated. Yet both were 2-time World Heavyweight Champions, back to back. But David Arquette, if him and DDP had won like the tag team titles, just for a few days, that would have been awesome. Fans would have been cheering. Like they'd be like, holy shit, David Arquette's tag team champion of the world. And it would have worked. Fans would have enjoyed it. Everybody would have been happy and having fun. But by not only giving him the World Heavyweight Championship, but having him somehow team with the World Heavyweight Champion, defeat Eric Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett in a tag team match, where he then somehow, by winning the match, won his own partner's World Heavyweight Championship, and his own partner celebrated with him, making it that confusing and dumb was bad enough. Having him hold it from April 25th, DDP had won his third final the day before. This was a Thunder taping. So he won it on April 25th, lost it on May 7th. His first world title reign was longer than Jeff Jarrett's first world title reign. That's ridiculous. Then, what the hell was with 2000? The world title reigns, the tag title reigns, the U.S. title reigns. Jim Duggan finding the TV title in the trash can and then it being vacated without being vacated. The decision for some reason to say, hey, this new guy, Lance Storm, let's give him 3 titles at once. This other new guy, Mike Awesome, who we brought in, he's the world champion ECW. Let's give him no titles. Let's turn Jim Duggan against America. Let's have Goldberg turn heel. Let's have Jeff Jarrett win 4 world titles in a month and a half. Let's vacate the title so many damn times. That Vacant was world champion more times in 2000 than anyone else. Let's have Booker T win multiple world titles. Let's have Vince Russo beat Booker T for the world title. Then Booker T wins it back in a match where the only thing he had to do is open up a box. Ridiculous. You could spend years talking about the year 2000, which I must say I'd actually love to watch. Just straightforward, every single show. Nitros, Thunders, Saturday Night, all the pay-per-views, just in a row. Just every week and just watch everything. Because it would be really fun to watch, but what the hell were they thinking? WWF was destroying them in the ratings, in the pay-per-view buys, just the storylines, everything they were doing, building up The Rock and Triple H and Kurt Angle, Stone Cold's return late in the year, The Undertaker reinventing himself, so many cool things, and they're what the hell is happening kind of thing. And lastly on this list, I'm going to say 3 names. Those 3 names, Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, and Vince Russo. All 3 have different reasons for why they should be blamed for the destruction of the company. Hulk Hogan, creative control, I don't know how often he actually used it, but the simple fact that they decided that WCW is now Hulk Hogan land because from his debut match when he won the WCW Championship, then held it for longer than anyone in history by holding it from July 1994 to October 1995. And then when he became head of the NWO, he got another year-long reign, just short because he won it on August 10th, 96, lost to August 4th, 1997. He screwed up the Sting match by saying, oh, Sting doesn't look like he's in good shape, or this might not turn out good, so instead of Sting just beating him. So the decision to have Hulk Hogan just be the man, 6-time world champion between July 1994 and September 1999. He won 2 world titles in 1999. He destroyed everybody. He destroyed Sting, destroyed the whole build-up. He destroyed Luger because Luger only was able to hold the title for 5 days. He destroyed Goldberg by them deciding to have him win the world title multiple times in 1999 and Goldberg win it 0 times. Yes, he reinvented himself and that's fun, but he probably should have been his last world title reign, losing either to Goldberg, the true passing of the torch, or losing to Sting fair and square in the main event of Starrcade. And for some reason, he beat Randy Savage twice. The day after Savage won the titles on pay-per-view, he lost them to Hulk Hogan. What the hell was that about? I mean, how did Savage agree to that? He's like, nope. I would have just kneed Hogan in the nuts and just left. Say, screw y'all, I'm out of here. Then Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff was a great genius in the beginning. Then his head got shoved up his own ass when he became part of the NWO, became on-screen talent, started believing his own hype, and actually agreed to things like, oh, you want a huge contract where you can do whatever the hell you want, even not wrestle. Here you go. So for all the genius Eric Bischoff did in the beginning, he destroyed everything in the end. One, he decided that he had to compete against the WWF. Knowing full well, you start a competition, somebody's got to win it. And are you a company that just started really losing tons of money, has tons of people in charge? Are you going to really be a family-owned, family-run company that went from just a regional company to the global phenomenon? Even though you saw that although you were relying on all the talent they had from before, they were building up Stone Cold Steve Austin, they were building up The Rock, Triple H. People say 1996, 1997, WCW had better talent and stuff. That's because they had the already established stars, the Hogans, the Lugers, the Stings, all of these guys. WWE had guys that were going to be huge stars, but were in the infancy. Stone Cold, he wasn't even Stone Cold yet. Triple H was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. The Rock was coming at the end of the year, 1996. It was Rocky Maivia. Then you had Shawn Michaels, who was in his first reign as champion and was saddled with his manager. He's Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid. He's coming out with Jose Lothario. What the hell? Here's my man, this 90-year-old old dude or something. It's like, how is that going to make you look cooler? His people like always blame him for not losing to Vader or something. Like, he got screwed by having his old trainer come into the ring with him. Like, what the hell? He doesn't even talk. It's like, he was not the man. He was having the best in-ring matches, but he was like punked out. And the last name, of course, Vince Russo. Vince Russo. Blame Vince Russo for everything, every problem. No. Vince Russo had great ideas. He just needed the filter that was Vince McMahon. Unfortunately, he didn't have that in WCW. He was given full reign. He could have been helped if his ideas were filtered through Eric Bischoff, who could have been like, no, I'm sorry, we can't do that. But Bischoff didn't have that kind of presence, nor did he do anything to say. He just like, just give me my money. Russo had fun ideas. Amazingly, he kept stuff off camera until April. But he's also the man in charge when they're doing all this crap. Decided to have the whole company versus itself, the young versus the old. Even though you built on the old. When you're writing storylines where Billy Kidman is beating Hulk Hogan, what the hell? I love Kidman, man. Lucky dude, married to Tori Wilson in her prime. Great cruiserweight champion, great fun. But who the hell said Billy Kidman should be beating Hulk Hogan fair and square in the middle of the ring? Then just all the stuff, the reliance on Jeff Jarrett, the heel turn of Goldberg, everything that was 2000 and 2001. And those three names, Hogan, Bischoff, Russo, could probably be the most to blame for the downfall of WCW. In one way or another, they destroyed the empire. I just wish WWE would someday relaunch WCW or bring back some of their pay-per-views. Halloween Havoc, Starrcade, Fall Brawl is a good one. The Great American Bash. Slamboree, that's a great name for a pay-per-view. But until then, I can enjoy watching videos on YouTube, like old pay-per-views or old matches or the best of WCW volume DVDs for DDP, which I really wish they'd release the best of WCW Thunder. Just two sets, basically cover all of Thunder, because they had some nice moments on Thunder. Well, those are 10 reasons, not in any order. What do you think? Do you agree with some of the reasons? Do you have reasons of your own? What do you think life would be like if WCW was around today? Would they be Impact Wrestling? Would they be Ring of Honor? Would they be AEW? Well, I guess we'll never know.